This is an overview on plant poisoning done by Dr. Sanjay Huladur. The objectives of this lecture are as follows: introduction, classification and identification of poisonous plants, poisonous paths and chemical substances, circumstances, route of entry, metabolism and excretion of plant poisons, mechanism of action, target organs, clinical features and principles of management, autopsy features and sample collection, medico-legal importance. Introduction. There are more than 300 poisonous plants, but some are edible. They act on more than one organ system, but they act principally on one organ system. They are classified according to the type of toxin. Poisoning is a major health concern in Sri Lanka. According to the Annual Health Bulletin in 2019, total number of hospital admissions due to poisoning were 81,292. 24,290 admissions were due to poisoning by drugs, medications, and biological substances, with 64 deaths. Plant poisoning is also included in above figures. Poisonous plants are classified according to the poison they contain. They are neurotoxins, cardiac toxins, gastrointestinal irritants, and cellular poisons. Here are few plants containing neurotoxins. They are Datura stramonium, substances of abuse like cannabis sativa, erythrocylon coca, Papaver somniferum, and Strychnos nux vomica. Nadium odorum and Thevisia peruviana contain cardiac toxins. Gloriosa superba and Ricinus communis contain gastrointestinal irritants. Here are few examples for plants containing cellular poisons. First, let us talk about Datura stramonium. In the following few slides, you can see the flower of Datura stramonium in various beautiful shades. Here is the fruit of the plant, and there are further slides showing seeds of the plant. Datura stramonium is called Attana in Sinhala. The toxin affects central nervous system. There are various toxic substances such as atropine, hyoscine, hyoscyamine, scopolamine. All these are alkaloids. Circumstances of poisoning are accidental ingestion, intentional ingestion, and suicidal ingestion, which is rare. The toxin is absorbed by gastrointestinal tract, skin, and mucous membranes. Here is the action of atropine. Atropine competes for the same receptors as acetylcholine, occupying them and blocking them. So effects are anticholinergic. The function of the brain, heart, and smooth muscles, glands are interrupted. Excreted via the kidney. This chart shows organs affected by the toxin, pathophysiology of action, and clinical features. Here are the principles of management. Eliminate the poison, administer physostigmine to reverse the action and diazepam to control fits, manage complications accordingly. The mode of death is usually by asphyxia due to respiratory paralysis. Post-mortem findings are non-specific. Seeds or fragments of the plant may be found in the stomach. Stomach may show slight inflammation. Lungs may have pulmonary edema. Other organs will show signs of asphyxia. The following specimens are collected during the postmortem examination. Stomach and contents, intestine, urine, and blood. Here is an overview on cannabis sativa. The following slides will show various parts of the plant. The substances of abuse are produced from different parts of the plant. Ganja from the flower, marijuana from flowery tops or cut leaves, hashish from dried resin, H oil from oily extract. All the toxic substances are alkaloids, namely cannabinol, cannabidiol, cannabidiolic acid. Circumstances of use are smoking as a beverage and with datura. Following are the clinical features of poisoning. The inhibition is removed. There's confusion, restlessness, hallucinations, narcosis, nausea, depression, and also there's addiction. Symptomatic management is done in a poisoning episode. Autopsy features are non-specific, but you may find features of addiction. The following few slides will give an overview on erythrithrolone coca. Here is a close-up picture of leaves of the plant. Following slides will include the other parts of the plant. This plant grows in Central or South America. The toxic substances are alkaloids. It is contained in leaves. The action is stimulating central nervous system and cardiovascular system similar to adrenaline. This chart shows the clinical features of poisoning. Management of poisoning depends on clinical presentation. Gastric decontamination is done if presented in less than 2 hours. Benzodiazepines are administered for psychosis. The patients are referred for substance abuse counseling. Here is an overview on Papaver somniferum, which is often called as opium. This is the opium plant, and the following few slides will show the various other parts of the plant. The unripe capsule of poppy plant is used to produce latex juice. Toxic substances are alkaloids, namely morphine, codeine, narcoline, and papaverine. The toxin acts as a sedative and it depresses the central nervous system. Circumstances of poisoning are ingestion, inhalation, and injection. These are the clinical features of poisoning: excitement and euphoria, depression of brainstem, narcosis and death, pain reduction, sleep induction, daydreaming, and having pinpoint pupils. Withdrawal symptoms are as follows: they have dilated pupils, increase in all secretions, muscle spasms and pain, joint pain, craving for drug. These symptoms usually start after 8 to 12 hours following stopping, and they peak at 3 days. Medico-legal importances are as follows. It may increase police battery. It should be differentiated from head injury and drug abuse. The management principles are basic ABC management, treatment for trauma, naloxone for respiratory depression, and gastric decontamination for ingestion. The following few slides will give an overview on Strychnos nux vomica. Here is the tree, and you can see the other parts in the following slides. This tree is called Godakaduru or Devakaduru in singular. The toxin is a spinal stimulant. This tree is commonly found in southern coastal area. The toxin is mainly found in seeds. Toxic substances are leucine, brucine, and strychnine. Circumstances of poisoning may be accidental, where children eat the fruit. Suicidal ingestion and homicidal ingestion are rare due to the bitterness of the fruit. Abstract of seeds is used as a rodenticide and to kill stray dogs by injecting with a long stick. Toxin is absorbed by all mucosal surfaces, but it is rapidly absorbed via gastrointestinal tract and it spread throughout the body. Target organ is spinal cord and also the brain. Action. Strychnine stimulate the brain and spinal cord by inhibiting the inhibitory pathways. So, hyperexcitation of brainstem and spinal cord occurs. Slightest stimulation can cause convulsions. The following chart shows the clinical features with pathophysiology and related symptoms. Tetanus is a differential diagnosis for this poisoning. Here is a chart showing how to differentiate tetanus from strychnine poisoning. Management principles are as follows. Maintaining airway, breathing, circulation are very important. Fits are controlled. Stimulation is kept at a minimum level. The last step is management of complications. Death occurs due to asphyxia. Hypoxia to brainstem leads to respiratory paralysis, which ultimately leads to asphyxia. Autopsy features are as follows. There may be froth at mouth, cyanosis, livid patches may be seen on the body and can be misinterpreted for bruises. Rigor mortis appear earlier but is not necessarily prolonged. Extravasated blood may be found in muscles. Sometimes there can be hemorrhages under the peritoneal coat of stomach. Stomach and duodenal mucosa show patches of ecchymosis or congestion. Signs of asphyxia will be there with congested brain, lungs, liver, kidneys, and spinal cord. For toxicological analysis, blood, urine, bile, brain and spinal cord tissue are collected. Here is an overview on Cerbera mangus. This is the white flower of the plant, and the following slides will show fruit, leaves, and the seeds of the plant. The singular word for Cerbera mangus is Devakaduru. The tree is large like a mango tree. Fruit is about the size of an orange. Poisonous part is fruit seeds. Poison is cardiogenic glycosides. Circumstances of ingestion may be accidental or suicidal. Cardiac arrhythmias are one of the clinical features. Here is an overview on Tabani montana dichotoma. This slide shows the tree, and the following slides will show flowers, leaves, fruit, and the seeds. This plant is called Devakaduru in Sinhala. There's white latex and fruits. which are toxic. Toxic substances are alkaloids or strychnine. The following slides give an overview on Thevisia peruviana, which is also called yellow oleander. Here is a picture of the flower, which is yellow in color, and the other pictures will show the various parts of the plant. The following few slides will show pictures of Marium oleander, which is also called pink oleander. Toxin of oleander's effect on cardiovascular system. The toxic substance is cardioglycosides, which has a digitalis-like action. Route of absorption is gastrointestinal tract after ingestion. Circumstances of ingestion are suicidal, where people consume foods; accidental, where children may consume parts of the plant; or homicidal, which is rare. The toxin inhibits sodium-potassium ATPase, altering the membrane potential in myocardium and neurons. It increases cardiac excitability, contractility, automaticity. Target organs are heart, central nervous system, and gastrointestinal tract. This following chart depicts clinical features of acute oleander poisoning. Principles of management. MS is activated charcoal, antidote, Canerutab. Management of complications. Death occurs due to circulatory failures and arrhythmias. Lethal dose is 8 to 10 seeds or 15 to 20 grams of root. Autopsy findings are non-specific. There may be signs of GIT irritation, and you may find fragments of seed in stomach. Now let's talk about Gloriosa superba. Here is a picture showing Gloriosa superba with its beautiful flower. The following few slides will show various parts of the plant, namely leaves, roots, fruit, and seeds. Gloriosa superba is called Nyangala in Sinhala. It was a main suicidal poison before availability of pesticides. It grows throughout the land. Toxic substances are colchicine, which is a cellular poison, choline, salicylic acid. Colchicine acts as a cellular poison. Mitosis is arrested and cell death occurs. Choline, it has an action same as acetylcholine. Salicylic acid, it is a local irritant. Circumstances of poisoning are accidental, where people mistakenly eat yams, suicidal, or homicidal. Target organs of toxin action are gastrointestinal tract, bone marrow, central nervous system, and smooth muscles. Here is a chart on pathophysiology of symptoms and signs according to the time after ingestion. Gastric lavage, administering activated charcoal, and management of complications are the principles of management. In an autopsy, there may be features of acute dehydration and gastrointestinal irritation, and there may be features of complications. Here is an overview on Ricinus communis. This slide shows a plant where the other parts will be depicted. This slide shows the Ricinus plant. The other parts will be shown in the following slides. Ricinus is called Enderu in Sinhala. The entire plant is poisonous, but seeds are most poisonous. Grows throughout the land. Ricin is the toxic substance. Ricin blocks the protein synthesis, which leads to cell death, tissue necrosis, and acute inflammation. Ricin is absorbed via gastrointestinal mucosa. Circumstances of ingestion are accidental, suicidal, and homicidal. This chart shows clinical features of ricin poisoning and the pathology. Basic management principles are gastric lavage and management of complications. Death may occur due to circulatory failure, renal failure, or respiratory failure. In the autopsy, there may be gastrointestinal tract irritation. You may find seeds in the stomach, and there may be non-specific signs such as edema and foci of necrosis. Here are the collected specimens. Gastric contents, blood, liver, kidney, stomach and intestinal tissue for histology. This is an overview on manure utilisma. Here is a picture of manure utilisma, which is commonly found in Sri Lanka. Toxic substance is cyanogenic glyphosate. Management depends on the complications. Autopsy findings are non-specific. but contents may be found in the stomach. Here is an overview on Adenia palmata. This slide shows the plant with fruits. The following slides will show the other parts of the plant. This plant is called Hondello in Sinhala. The fruit resembles passion fruit. There's accidental ingestion by children. Toxic substances are toxalbumin, which causes necrotizing enteritis, and cyanogenic glycosides. The following slides will give an overview on Abrus species. Here is the flower of the plant, which is purple in color. The other slides will show pictures of various parts of the plant. This plant is called Olinder in Sinhala. Seeds are very poisonous. Toxic substance is abri, a plant lecithin. Clinical features are nausea, vomiting, abdominal cramping, and diarrhea. Now, here's an overview on Adenanthera species. It is a big tree. The following slides will show other parts of this plant. Adenanthera species is called mother deer in Sinhala. Raw seeds are toxic. Exact toxin is unknown. Aromatic and aliphatic natural products, flavonoids, terpenoids, steroids, amino acids are considered as the toxins of this plant. They could act as gastrointestinal irritants. Here is a brief overview on Calotropis species. This is the Calotropis plant. Here is the flower of Calotropis. The other parts will be shown in the following slides. These are the seeds of the Calotropis, which are distributed by the wind. Calotropis is called vara in Sinhala. Latex has direct irritant action on mucous membranes. Plant may give rise to skin reactions due to allergy. Here are the toxic substances. An unidentified vesicant allergen in the latex, calcium oxalate crystals, cardioactive steroids. Now let us talk about Colocasia esculenta. Here is a picture of the plant. The following slides will show the parts of the plant. This plant is called Gahala in Sinhala. Root, tuber, combs, leaves, and petioles are toxic. Toxic substances are neurotoxin, sapotoxin in root tuber. Combs, leaves, and petioles contain stinging graphites. The following slides will give an overview on Croton tiglium. Here is the Croton tiglium plant. The following slides will show flower, fruit, and seeds of the plant. Croton tiglium is called Chapala in Sinhala. Fruit and seeds can be toxic. There are four-ball esters, crotin, which act as toxic substances. Here is an overview on Excoicaria agaloca. Here is a picture of the tree. The following few slides will show pictures of other parts of the plant. This plant is called Telecaria in Sinhala. Latex is toxic. Excoicaria toxin is the toxic substance. It is a group of Daphne diterpene esters. The following slides will give an overview on Jatropha curcus. This slide shows the plant. The following slides will show flower, fruit, and seeds of the plant. This plant is called Rata Enderu, Vata Enderu in Sinhala. 3 seeds can be toxic. Reported lethal dose is 7 to 8 seeds. Cercin and phobol esters are toxic substances found in this plant. Here is a brief overview on Jatropha philosophifolia. This is a picture showing the plant with fruits. The following slides will show the other parts of the plant, namely flower and seeds. Jatropha glossipifolia is called Rat Enderu in Sinhala. The seeds are poisonous. Toxic substances are as follows: a purgative oil, phytotoxin or toxalbumi. Here is a brief overview on Jatropha multifida. Here is the Jatropha multifida plant. The following slides will show leaves, fruit and seeds of the plant. Jatropha multifida is called Mayurapada in Sinhala. Even one seed can be toxic. Toxic substances are cercin and phobol esters. Here is an overview on Jatropha podagra plant. This is a picture of Jatropha podagra plant. The following slides will show close-up pictures of flowers, leaves and fruits. Jatropha podagra is called Vishakumbha in Sinhala. All plant parts are poisonous, especially the seeds. Toxic substance is cercin. It is usually found mainly in the seeds and also in the fruit and the sap. This is a brief overview on Nicotiana tabacum. These are Nicotiana tabacum plants. The other slides will show parts of the plant. Here is a picture of dried leaves. This is usually consumed together with betel. Nicotiana tabacum is called Dunkola in Sinhala. The whole plant is poisonous. Nicotine and other pyridine alkaloids are the toxic substances found in this plant. Here is an overview on Euphorbia antiquorum. This is the Euphorbia antiquorum plant. The following slides will show more pictures. Euphorbia antiquorum is called Baluk in Sinhala. The latex of some species is poisonous. The toxic substances are shown in the slide. We went through an overview of only few poisonous plants in Sri Lanka. Thank you.